Welcome back to cloudy, breezy Sarasota, Florida, where we're in second round action of the 2012 USA Ultimate Club Championships. This is NGN, and we're being encoded by Elemental Technologies. I'm Kyle Weisbrod here with Jackson Kelsey for this A-pool matchup between Madison's Heist and Brutesquad out of Boston in black receiving. So first pull goes up from Robin Fenig. Brutesquad takes it down, and Heist is immediately in a zone defense. Heist has an interesting zone defense. You see it here. It's a four-person cup, but the two players in the middle are actually face guarding the downfield players. They're looking to pick players up in the middle. Then two wings and a deep. Brutesquad patient across, and a turnover on the swing.
Looks like the wind might have affected that first throw.
Fenig to pick up for Heist.
So Fenig with the disc. Fenig to the middle.
Brutesquad staying in man-to-man.
So George Boscher with the disc. Back to Fenig. Back to Boscher. Boscher near the goal line. Called in by the observer. And Boscher tries to go low with the IO throw. Comes up short.
Again, the wind affecting that throw. Awfully difficult to have the inside-out backhand pop up when it's windy like this.
So Brutesquad working primarily downwind here on this point. The wind is blowing towards the headquarters, the crow's nest. Heist back in their zone defense. Winds are probably around 15 miles per hour, gusting a little around 20. Sarah Cook with the disc, anchoring the Brutesquad offense.
That's the first upfield pass from Brutesquad.
Emma Frankel with the disc, back to Cook. Foul called.
It's a nice little twirl on that stumble.
Looks like she may have had her foot stepped on. Let's take a look at it. Just a little contact there. Sarah Cook, the player down with the disc, a longtime player out of Boston, played for Lady Godiva as well as Brutesquad for a number of years. Played at Brown University, graduated in 2001. This is Brutesquad's 10th trip here to Club Nationals.
That does not look good for Brutesquad. She's not putting any weight on that ankle.
So Cook being helped off the field here.
Amber Sinicrow steps onto the field for Sarah.
So Amber Sinicrope to take her place.
She's putting weight on it now. She might be able to come back. Be a big loss to have her not in the game.
Cook actually played for the Masters women's team for the U.S. that represented the U.S. in Japan this summer. So Sinicrope dishing out wide. Heist staying in the zone defense. Brutesquad showing some good patience. It's Emily Bacher. Emily Bacher out wide. Bacher back to Sinicrope. Jackie Booth with the disc. IO out to Malinowski. Upfield.
Two nice inside-out breaks. One all the way across the field, then one up the field.
Pick called. Great patient offense there from Brutesquad, working it downfield.
Down in on 5.
Sinicrope looking.
Heist is now in a man look.
Jackie Booth with the break mark. Chelsea Whitty unable to come up with that one. And Heist with the disc.
Pick called.
Kelly Parsons with the disc. being marked by Laura Bitterman.
Taking on this for Heist.
Bitterman very familiar with many of these players on the Heist, as she's out of Wisconsin. Boscher. Out to Enders. Oh, and Enders can't connect with Kelly Parsons. So Brutesquad with the disc again. Bacher with the disc. Breaks around. Booth around to Sinecrope. All the way to the other side of the field. Malinowski. Nice grab from Bacher.
Full extension there.
Bacher breaks again. Frankel now. Looking to do a lefty backhand. Sinecrope on the goal line. Looks like some confusion. Looks like there's a foul call, so this one's going to be coming back.
Ball on the play. Foul, it looks like.
Intended receiver there was Malinowski. Malinowski, a first-year player for Brutesquad. She's out of Michigan. So Jonna Homaker stepping in here, helping to observe. We got 2 observers out here on these games. Jonna Homaker involved right now, and then Julie Morse is our other observer. Malinowski calling a foul here on Fenig. Fenig contesting.
Lots of conversing about this one.
So it looks like the observers are overruling the call, calling a turnover. Placing this back to where the disc was turned over. So Fenig will be picking up for Heist, going upwind on the corner of the end zone.
Heist in a horizontal offense. 4 cutters downfield, 3 handlers.
Boscher in the middle, nice IO break, and Boscher takes a really nice flat deep shot. But Malinowski too big.
It's quite the rip there from Boscher. Into the wind.
Heist definitely has a couple really big throwers. And here's Brutesquad on the move. But Bitterman turns this one over. Heist, a brand new team out of Madison, Wisconsin this year. Founded by Courtney Kiesau, Georgia Boscher, and Robin Fenig. When they started the team, they weren't even sure they were going to be able to get enough players out. Turned out they had 100 people on their email list and 60 players out of their tryouts.
Jeez.
Up until the club championships, they've gone undefeated. Here's a shot. Nice defense. Amber Sinecrope going up and over the receiver there. Intended receiver Sydney Dobkin, current Wisconsin player.
Get another look here. There's definitely contact. I don't know if the Heist player was going to make a play on that. It looked like Sinecrope had position.
So Homaker comes in, rules no foul. Sinecrope will retain possession of the disc, being marked by Dobkin.
Heist in their man set now.
It's forced forehand. Brutesquad showing vertical offense. And another turnover. Lots of miscues here early in this game at 0-0.
Still the first point.
Chelsea Tuig retaining position, hitting Fenig. Fenig with another backhand shot, has Boscher. And that one connects. Oh!
Sure-handed receiver, Georgia Boscher, unable to bring that in.
So you got to wonder, Boscher, interesting story. Her flight actually got canceled last night. She ended up getting stuck in Atlanta overnight, had to sleep in the airport, and then just got into this on the field about 30 minutes before game time, showed up. you got to wonder if that's affecting her right now, maybe not having adequate time to warm up, and maybe just being tired.
Definitely has some sort of effect.
So Heist back in their zone defense. Malinowski to Sinecrope. Out wide to Bacher. Bacher extends it all the way out. Some contact on that throw. Foul called. Bitterman swings it to the middle. To Sinecrope, out wide to Bacher. You see Bacher back there with Sinecrope, both alums of Amherst High School, the dominant women's program in high school ultimate for years and years. And they both moved back home and controlling the offense here. Here's Sinecrope. Back to Bacher. Foul. Sydney Dobkin. Break to Malinowski. High stall count to Jackie Booth. Sinecrope with an open beside backhand, but she floats this one up. And the receiver able to pull it down. That's Emma Frankel for the goal. 1-0 Brutesquad.
That disc looked like it was going to float up, giving the Heist player a play on it, but it just sits down nice and perfectly right in Emma Frankel's hands.
So a very long first point here in the second round game. But Boston finally able to convert on their offensive possession. Both teams feeling each other out. Now Boston, I think we're gonna see Brutesquad go a pretty split O and D line here. I think we're probably gonna see a lot of the same players coming out on both O and D, particularly Robin Fenig and Georgia Bosher. We'll see them probably on both sides of the disc.
Big turning point in that point. Heist had the disc down on Brutesquad's goal line. Robin Fenig put the outside in backhand to Georgia Bosher. The normally sure-handed Bosher couldn't quite corral it.
That was definitely an opportunity I'm sure they would want back.
A big break. Upwind, first point of the game, definitely set the tone throughout. However, Brutesquad able to put it in.
So Brutesquad's D-line, Aura McKenzie with the disc and the pull. A little lefty OI, plays to win very well here. And Heist going right at it to start. Able to pull that one down. There's Jen Nowak with the big grab up down the middle.
Heist not wasting any time.
And Courtney Kiesau with the goal. Courtney Kiesau, another of the Wisconsin grads on the team.
First throw. This guy's 2 Brutesquad players and finds Kiesau in the end zone.
Great grab in between those two Brutesquad players. So Heist making very quick work of their first offensive point, and they get their D-line back on the field. That's great for them.
A bit more efficient offense from their O-line compared to Brutesquad. Brutesquad came down in a zone, but Heist realizing that turning it over downwind, down at that goal line is probably more advantageous for them as opposed to turning it over on a dump or a swing back near their own end zone. Give short field. It would give short field for Brutesquad to work with. Very efficient offense from Heist O-line. 2 throws, 1 goal.
So Sarah Hoistad with the disc for Heist. Low pull. Baker to pick it up. Sarah Cook back on the field for Brutesquad. Good to see that she's not seriously injured here. And Heist comes out with a zone again. Looks like it's sort of umbrella. They've got 3 players up front here. Have 2 in the middle and 2 deep. Looking to contain in the middle of the field as much as possible. The 3 players up front all take turns marking when it's on their side of the field, forcing to the middle. Brutesquad effectively working it back and forth across. Cook with the disc. All the way wide to Malinowski.
Wide open over there on the sideline.
Oh, and right up in the middle there. Jackie Booth, and Jackie Booth finds an open receiver, number 33. That's Laura Bitterman for the score. And Boston much more official on this, their second 0 point, up 2-1.
No turns on that point. It's a pretty big game for both teams. Brutesquad is the 8 seed, Heist the 9 seed. Really could go either way based on seeding. Heist, of course, came into the tournament undefeated. You might wonder why, well, if they're undefeated, why were they only seeded 9th? Well, they didn't really play that stiff a competition in the regular season. They were a new team. In fact, they didn't even know if they were going to have a team at ECC, which is why they didn't go to ECC.
Interesting too this year with all the USA Ultimate club restructuring changes now. The top 8 teams from this tournament, you know, will have the opportunity to play at a higher tier of play next year.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is kind of the breaking point. This is the 8-9 game. This will give a team, whoever wins this team, kind of the inside track, the easier track to get to that tier of play.
True that. Especially Heist being a first-year team, that'd be quite the accomplishment for them to break into the top 8 teams. Brutesquad's been around since 2002, having made finals twice, quarterfinals 3 times, and semifinals 3 times.
So Brutesquad comes out with a zone this point, but Heist moving quickly through the zone defense. But a turnover on the reset. Looks like Akina Young got her hand on that disc. Akina Young. So Brutesquad's D-line, their first possession of the game. And they managed to come down with that one. That's Chelsea Whitty with the disc. Whitty 5'11".
Whitty actually played with Blackbird at Mixed Worlds.
Robin Fennick with the block and then the huck to the goal line. The break mark throw and through the hands of Emily Jenkins.
That would have been a difficult catch, but she got 2 hands on it, electing to go with the pancake layout. Didn't quite work that time.
Let's take another look. What a great block there, getting in there to the disc thrown behind her. And Jenkins looks like she should have gone on the rim on that one. She tried to clap that one down. Hard to clap those layout catches. So Brutesquad runs a zipper type play out of their vert stack. Disc in the hand of Shelly Payton. You were saying Shelly Payton has broken her arm how many times?
5 times. She's broken her left arm 5 times.
So the tough captain here from Brutesquad with a shot. Payton deep. But over the head of Chelsea Whitty.
Earlier in this point, Whitty able to come down with a 50-50 disc. That time did not quite read it correctly. Couldn't come down with it. That time the clap catch works.
And here's a shot to the end zone. Big bid from number 9 number 9 Becca Ludford, unable to come up with it. Gapster, the thrower there, looks like she's calling something. contact on her arm.
The wind's definitely picking up now.
So just coming back in, stall count of 0. Backhand force. Fennig with the backhand.
Lazy throw there from Fennig.
And Christy Kim with the block. Claire Henley to pick it up. To Akina Young. Young with the disc. Back to Henley. Reset back to number 16, Shelly Payton.
Lots of calls in this game.
Both teams battling for position here early. And particularly in this vert stack of Brutes, it's a very tight stack. I think the wind has to make it tighter, right? Teams want to give a lot of deep space to cut to, but when you have a tight vert stack like that, there's just going to be a lot of contact in the middle of the field. So Payton around backhand, out to Kelly Tidwell. Tidwell out of UNC Wilmington. There's a bid there. Young with the disc. Around. Some good patience from Brutesquad, but lots of throws in this high wind situation. Another nice break mark throw, but Young can't come down with it. Right into her chest, but can't catch the clap catch. And Brutesquad calls a timeout. Excuse me, Heist calls a timeout. So as Brutesquad and Heist go to timeout, we're going to take a short break here. We'll be back when the timeout's over. Welcome back to first half action here between Brutesquad and Heist in the women's division, the 2012 USA Ultimate Club Championships. So Heist just took a timeout. They started this point on offense. Brutesquad coming out with their zone again. So all of Heist's planning in their timeout for naught. They're just running their zone offense. Looks like a pretty standard 3-person cup. 1 short, deep, a deep, deep, and 2 wings from Brutesquad. Nice throw through the middle from Fennig. Nice movement. Here's a shot. And a goal. Assist from Becca Lunford. And goal by number 13, Rebecca Enders. Heist back on the board, 2-2.
Both of Heist's goals coming on deep shots.
You know, Jackson, I had this temptation to look at Heist and chalk it up to, you know, they've got this top-end talent. They've got Robin Fennig, they've got Georgia Boscher, you know, and a couple other really big-name players like Courtney Kiesau. But they seem to be a very deep team. They're using everybody very well here, very balanced. And they're subbing pretty deep, too, early in this game.
Yeah, I've only seen Boscher. This is Boscher's 3rd point out of 5, which for a top player with a small rotation, you might see them on for those first 5 points.
It's interesting when you talk to this team too, they're so excited about being this new team and how fresh it is and building a team identity. You know, I had the opportunity to talk to both Boscher as well as Fennig in the last couple of days. And I haven't really seen anyone glow so much about their team and the excitement. And you know, Georgia talked about, you know, building their strategy, and she's bringing aspects of fury to the team. And they've got all these players from Iowa and that's where their zone defense comes from. And then they got to create their own plays outside of that. And I think there's a lot of excitement about the future of this squad, this first-year squad from this team. So Boscher with the pull, Brutesquad on offense. Heist comes down with a zone. This was like a 4-person cup that's forcing one way, so it may be a trap zone, forcing to the forehand side. Nice break mark throw. Sarah Cook in the middle. Goes out wide. Hangs a little bit, but able to come down with that is Emma Frankel. Zipperstein up the middle to Bitterman. Nice movement from Brutesquad. That's Blake Spitz with the disc. Spitz back to Zipperstein. Break to Cook. Cook across the field to Emily Bacher. Brutesquad knocking on the door. Nice break mark to Zipperstein. And Zipperstein with the break, but to the defender, number 17. That's Kelly Parsons with the D. Looks like Zipperstein's gonna be calling a foul here.
Unfortunate there for Heist. Looked like she had that number 17. Kelly Parsons had that D on lock, stepped in front of the offensive cutter even before Zipperstein threw it. Zipperstein looked like she was committed to that throw. Heist was going to get the D almost no matter what.
So observer steps in. Observer Hamaker rules that was a foul. Comes back to Zipperstein. Stahl can have 0. That is an unfortunate call, as that was almost certainly have been a block. But Heist gets it back anyway. Hoistad picking the disc up. Heist have a horizontal, working upwind. Break mark forehand sails a little too high. Bacher comes down with it. Bacher with the IO to VY Chow. VY, a veteran on this team. Emma Frankel. To Bacher. VY Chow working to get open. Looks like there's going to be a pick call that's going to bring this one back. Nice catch by Chow to make sure she reeled that one in.
Chow doesn't like the call.
She had a few steps on her there.
Yeah, she did. I don't know if that player is going to have a play on the disc.
So they set back up in the middle stack. VY still taking a couple steps, choosing not to cut. Cook working to get open. Bacher with the IO to Bitterman. Bitterman looking for something. High stall count, break mark throw to Spitz. Spitz back to Bitterman. Back to Spitz.
Brutesquad very clustered here.
High stall count. Spitz puts up an IO forehand that hangs, and VY Chow unable to come down with that. Kelly Parsons with the D. And Sarah Hoistad picks up the disc for Heist. Sarah Scott behind her receiver. That's Kimmy Chapman. Chapman dishes to Enders. Bosher working to get open. They can't hit her. High back in over the top, and the wind just takes that one and pushes it down.
That throw is incredibly difficult into the wind. A high release inside out backhand to the break side. You got to put a lot of spin on that.
And that was almost directly upwind. That was the exact direction the wind was playing. And here's the shot to VY. But able to come down with that. Scott.
Kelly Parsons is blanketing VY Chow.
And here's a nice outlet pass up to Bosher. Bosher with a shot. Great upwind shot to Chelsea Tuig for the score. And the first break of the game goes to Heist with the upwinder.
I don't think there's many players on the field that can throw that Bosher just threw.
Well, the throw that set her up was fantastic. Gave her leading out to space, let her put her power behind it, and then Bosher with all that snap and all that spin able to just lay that one out to Tuig.
Yeah, the throw that came to Bosher was very bladey and came over the top, but Bosher's just stayed flat. It did come over slightly, but a lot flatter than the throw that she received. Heist gets their first break of the game. They take the lead 3-2.
So as good as Heist is, one of the things that I think is interesting is one of the best players in Madison, possibly the best player in Madison, and maybe possibly the best player in the women's game is Alex Snyder. Lives in Madison but plays for Fury. You know, if they were able
She'd
to
be a nice pickup.
she would have been a fantastic pickup for this Heist squad. It's unbelievable to think how good this first-year team out of a relatively small town could have been here at this championship.
You got to You got to wonder if, depending on how Heist does at Nationals, if Alex Snyder will be swayed to stay at home, not fly out to San Francisco for practices anymore.
I know also when they were putting the team together, they worked on Paula Seville, Callahan winner from Michigan this year. And there was some, she considered it. She was decided between moving to Detroit or moving to Chicago. If she moved to Chicago, she would have likely played with the squad as well. Another great pickup for them. This team, as good as it is now, has somewhat unlimited potential given how strong that region has been in women's ultimate recently. They've been really picking it up with Wisconsin and some Carleton and Iowa and Iowa State as well.
They were able to land Snyder and the Michigan Callahan winner. That'd be 3 Callahan winners on a team. Pretty good to build a team around.
4, I think. Courtney Kiesau was also a Callahan.
Oh, right, Courtney Kiesau.
So, Brutesquad working upwind here. Looks like it's man-to-man. Brutesquad having to work really hard to get the disc moving here. That's Tracy Wu with it. That's to Aura McKenzie. Back to McKenzie.
Brutesquad's taking a lot more passes to get up towards the end zone than Heist. Heist is looking for that deep ball. Of course, having a player like Georgia Bosher allows you to throw that a lot. Brutesquad yet to take a deep shot going upwind or downwind.
McKenzie with the disc again. High backhand dump. Tracy Wu. Wu trying to go IO. Looks like there's contact on the throw. This will be coming back. Uncontested. In talking to Brutesquad before the game, they said, you know, I know we have this reputation as a very conservative, methodical team. We think of ourselves as much more open this year in taking shots, but very clearly compared to the Heist offense we've seen, the Brutesquad is still very methodic and working with very short passes. And here's a turnover on a reset.
Yeah, Brutesquad reminds me of the Stanford men's team for years. They would just work it and work it and work it.
So on the goal line here, just off of it, Jenny Gaynor with the disc. Jenny goes for the high backhand, and the wind just pushes that one straight to the ground. That's a squandered opportunity for Heist.
Would have been 2 breaks in a row for Heist. Still, Heist is in a good position. Brutesquad having to go 70 yards up the field to get a goal. And the way their offense is moving right now, it's going to take a lot of passes to get them there. B.Y. Chow taking an injury sub. Laura Bitterman subs on for her.
So every player's taking their positions from where the injury happened. Bacher with the disc. Bacher with the backhand.
There's a
to
deep
Malinowski.
shot.
Heist able to get the block. Quick movement and an errant throw. And right back to number 17, Aura McKenzie with the disc. Out wide, Malinowski. Malinowski likes her backhand. She takes a shot. She has Bitterman deep. But Fennick getting in the middle of that one. Fennick going over the top a little. And Malinowski pulls it down. Oh, Fennick going big. And Heist gets it right back.
Fennick slow to get up.
And the big hammer.
Whoa.
That one is not going to pan out.
Well, at least Brute has 70 yards of field to get a goal. Don't really know what the Heist player was looking at there. It's almost a hospital pass on a stall, too.
It's particularly tough in these conditions to put a hammer up that high, given how much the wind is going to push it. So Brutesquad having a lot of trouble in this upwind point here. Malinowski back to Bitterman. Bacher with the disc. Interesting that Heist is forcing backhand primarily here. Looks like another pick call. It's going to come back to Malinowski. Malinowski unmarked. McKenzie around, and a block from number 5, Rose Glinka. Glinka to Fennig. Nice sure hands from Fennig there under pressure from Bitterman. Fennig tries to go IO, but no one was there.
Don't know if she wanted her cutter to cut back to her. Maybe she saw something that number 5, Rose Glinka, didn't see.
So Malinowski with another shot to Bitterman, and Fennig there pulls it down over Bitterman. And Fennig wisely calls a timeout.
That's the 3rd time this point that Fennig has got the better of Bitterman. Twice on D and once on the up line. Bitterman was there, but Fennig snatched it right in front of her.
So Heist's 2nd timeout of the game, of the half. That's their last timeout of the half. Very early still in this first half. And given the conditions and how many turnovers there have been so far, you've got to wonder if this game may get capped at a very short number of points. And this is a very important thing that they have no timeouts left.
That's true.
Well, we're going to take a quick break during this timeout. We'll be back to you after the halftime ends. Welcome back. Still first half action here between Heist and Brutesquad. Heist up 3-2. Heist coming off of a timeout. They're looking for a 2nd consecutive break here. Robin Fennig with the disc, marked by Laura Bitterman on the sideline. Break mark around. Nice throw from Fennig. An errant throw. Malinowski comes down with another one.
Gaynor looked like she couldn't get her feet under her. Couldn't quite make the jump to make a play on that disc.
So McKenzie to Bacher. Back to McKenzie. To Bitterman. Bitterman doing hard work downfield. Bitterman with a shot. Great block.
Rose Glinka.
Rose Glinka
extension.
saving the upwind goal there.
Ooh, a near Callahan. Number 7, Lauren Nelson. Almost able to reach in there and snap that away.
And putting it deep. Has a receiver. This one's going to be too far out of reach. I think that one was mostly for field position.
Yeah. Punting the disc down the field.
Saying, Boston, you can have this disc back, but now you got to work 65 yards upwind. Let's take another look at that Glinka D. Great block, saving that. Bacher had position, would have gotten it, come down with it. And now Heist gets a turnover.
The punt works. Brutesquad unable to maintain possession in the wind. Now instead of 70 yards, Heist only has 25 yards to work.
Jenny Gaynor with the disc. Back to Gaynor. Oh, and a drop right on the goal line from Becky Ladone.
She's not happy with that.
That's
Probably
Malinowski. And a drop from Tracy Wu. Now that's going to be a costly one for Brutesquad here.
Heist is definitely winning the game based on their throws and their catches. Lots of drops from Brutesquad. Some drops also from Heist, but definitely more from Brute.
Nice throw across for space. Lots of space to work with here. Takes a long time for that cut to develop. Back to Fennig. Fennig goes around, but this time she's not going to be able to connect with her receiver. Kisao, the intended target there.
That throw came out a little hot, rode the wind. Kisao was open. If Fennig could have put a little more blade on that, Heist would be looking at a 4-2 lead on Brute.
So Baker picks up the disc, being marched forced back in. Malinowski on the backhand side, going deep right away. Baker looks under. Laura Nelson. Back to Baker. Lots of space to Tracy Wu. Malinowski open. Malinowski pulls it down. Looks to put it, but comes underneath to Bitterman. Back to Malinowski. Nice movement from Brutesquad here. Eating up lots of yards. Up to Nelson.
Ooh.
And a timeout call.
Laura Nelson burns a timeout when Laura Bitterman opened by 7 yards.
I think Heist has to be happy about that timeout. That was the first time we've seen Brutesquad really put together a string of solid throws and good movement. And if you look at Heist right now, they look exhausted. They've got their hands on their knees.
I don't think Laura Nelson really realized how well their offense was clicking. It was definitely those 5 or 6 passes from Brutesquad was the best flow that we've seen from Brutesquad this game. And then there was a wide open Laura Bitterman, 7 yards past her defender with an open end zone. No players are deeper than her. And then she calls a timeout and just kind of kills that momentum.
So giving Heist a second to rest and a game plan here, I wouldn't be terribly surprised to see Heist come out with a zone defense off this timeout.
Yeah, they've been playing zone today. It has worked well, forcing Brute to throw a lot of throws. I'm kind of surprised, haven't seen more from Zipperstein this game. I saw her, I think she's had maybe 3 or 4 touches.
I think part of it is just, it's hard. She plays on the D line. They've only had 2 D points so far. I think these points are so long that these players, and they get cold on the sidelines. And this point has been going on for a solid 15 minutes at this point. So Heist comes out with a man-to-man. Looks like Brutesquad's original play doesn't work. Goes to the reset incomplete. So Heist now with the disc again. Now Heist out of timeouts. Brutesquad only has 1 left. Heist working it downfield. Swing around. Langland with the disc to the middle. It's Becky Ladone. Becky goes over the top. And that one just catches a little too much wind. That's 2 goal line mistakes from Becky Ladone. Becky Ladone, one of the veterans of the squad. Lots of nationals experience with both Baco out of North Carolina as well as with Nemesis out of Chicago.
Yeah, that throw is nearly impossible to throw in this wind. A high release inside out backhand that cuts back against the wind.
Brutesquad takes another shot and comes up empty. Rolls out the sideline.
I still like where that turnover ended up. Now Heist has half the field that they have to go up instead of 10 or 15 yards to go.
So this was an offensive point for Brutesquad. Heist threatening to break here, again on the goal line. Back to Fennig. Open receiver and a block by Malinowski on the goal line, saving the goal.
Big block from Malinowski.
Laura Nelson, the intended receiver.
Extends the point.
This is going to be a big point. Whoever comes down with this point is going to have a lot of momentum going to the next one, especially if Heist is able to complete this break. But even if they're not able to, if Heist is unable to complete the break, if Brutesquad is able to score this upwinder, then they're going to be coming back downwind again and essentially have the opportunity to get it back onto serve.
This is a point that you train for all year long. On the field for 15+ minutes. Whenever there's a turnover or a change of possession, you see at least 3 or 4 players with their hands on their knees, trying to catch their breath.
And Fennig with a shot. But Bacher's there. Bacher goes to the back end around. Nice touch on that throw. McKenzie. That one's out of bounds.
In a windy game like this, you want a lot of your throws to go vertical instead of horizontal.
So this one went out of bounds almost immediately after it was released. So Fennig able to pull it up to about 20 yards outside the end zone. USAU. USAU looking for the reset. Gets out to Langland. Langland around. Ladone. Ladone over the top. That one works out to Gaynor. Fennig. Patient with the disc going over the top. But the wind pushes that one away from Ladone. And these women are tired out here at this point. This is not easy.
They are digging deep.
Bacher picks it up again. IO break, Bitterman. To McKenzie. Malinowski still working hard downfield. Bacher going up line. Here's an opportunity. Bitterman late on the break, but still takes the shot. Bacher going deep to Bitterman. And Bitterman pulls it down in the end zone for the goal.
Goal. These players, I'd be very surprised to see any of these 14 players still on the field after that point.
That is a huge point. Bacher, great upline, and then nice flat throw. Bitterman doing a good job of using her body and boxing out Ladone. And Heist has to be kicking themselves at the number of opportunities they had to get that downwind break and take a 2-point lead in this game. And now they've got to put their O-line up, working upwind.
Especially Robin Fennig, that last turnover, she was trying to make something happen with her throws, and that's really a time when you need to make something happen with your legs. Players are tired. If you can just run harder than the other team, then you're going to get that goal.
So Georgia Boscher back on the line, directing her troops.
Now it's Heist's turn to see if they can score upwind.
Amber Sinecrope with the disc. Sinecrope to pull. Blady backhand. It's going to land and roll to the goal line. And almost a first pass turnover. Brutesquad coming down in what looks like a junky defense. Able to get it right away. That one was a low throw, picked up by number 3, Shannon Moorhead. Liz DeWart with the disc. Excuse me. Claudia Tajima with the disc. Shelly Payton. Payton with the forehand. Christy Kim. It's amazing to see the pace of the game has picked up a bunch now that these players are fresh on the field. Brutesquad 5 yards out. Opportunity to break and get back on serve here. Capitalizing on that last point. Great mark hangs. Receiver unable to come up with it. Nice to get another opportunity. Boscher picks it up. She has a receiver going deep too deep at this point. She still puts it.
Sinnekrup comes down with the D.
Oh, great fake there from Sinnekrup. Put Jana Schell on her heels and able to get huge yards there, number 16. Biz Cook with it. And Biz Cook takes a shot, but Georgia Boscher waiting on defense.
Brutesquad turn.
Boscher with a turnover. Almost able to come up with that one was Kelly Parsons. Looks like Parsons calling a foul. Defender there, Emily Bacher. Observer rules no foul.
Disc is turned over to Brutesquad.
Bacher to pick the disc up.
Anderson to pick up. KP in the mark.
Kim, oh, just past her irons. Betsy Calkins tries to come up with it, can't. So Heist on their goal line. Boscher working to get open. Errant throw. Brutesquad on the quick transition. And wide open in the end zone. Chelsea Whitty for the goal. And the break. Back on serve. Brutesquad up 4-3.
Brutesquad able to find passes that gained yards as opposed to swinging it around. There was a lot fewer throws horizontally, a lot more throws vertically on that point. A bit more efficient for their team. Not one of those marathon points like the previous point.
So Brutesquad chooses to run north-south. They also capitalize on that transition to put the quick one in. Looks like Fennig is going to step back on the field. Boscher calling the line. Heist an uncoached team. On the flip side, you got Billy Rodriguez, longtime player for New York, and Boston's dog.
Didn't he win something like 13 straight national championships or something like that?
I believe the number is 11. I think he won 5 consecutive with New York, and then 6 consecutive with Boston.
He's definitely a guy you want coaching your team right there.
He knows a thing or two about Ultimate. He knows a thing or two about medicine. He's a smart guy. He actually is a teacher, I believe, or he's on faculty at Harvard Medical School. I believe infectious disease. Robin Fennig picking up the disc. Brutesquad coming out with a junk. Nice, gets a couple throws off. A shot from Fennig, just out of reach for Becca Ludford. That looked like a tire throw from Fennig. Fennig seems like she may not have recovered from that epically long point. She just looks like she's trying to end this point too soon, not using the open receivers that she has, and she just takes her first option there. Kelly Tidwell with the disc.
Yeah, Fennig looked like she threw that through with her arms instead of her torso. She wasn't trying to control it when she was coming through. Just kind of flicking it out there.
So turnover from Brutesquad. Fennig with the disc. Isolated out in the lane, number 22, Liz Arkakai. Foul called on the mark here. Claire Henley on the mark.
Fennig shaken up on the play.
Fennig's taking a sub. Looks like she got shaken up.
Taking Ladone that's on the field.
Coming in for her is number 45, Becky Ladone. Ladone with the disc. Ladone trying to squeeze an IO in there. Not a lot of space for that throw. Brutesquad gets the disc back. Kelly Parsons to pick up. And Parsons going deep right away, has a receiver. That is number 25, Chelsea Whitty. So that's Aura McKenzie with the huck. Chelsea Whitty calls the foul. Let's take another look at that foul. Definitely foul there as Ladone reaches in. So Brutesquad swinging across the field. Young with the disc. And Young putting one up. Though it's a little too high for the intended receiver, Henley. So Brutesquad getting another opportunity here.
Brutesquad almost able to have a 3-0 run. Getting 2 breaks in a row. Can't quite capitalize.
So Ladone with the disc. Heist big throwers off the field currently. And they turn over just past midfield. McKenzie to pick it up. Brutesquad looking like the team that weathered that long point much better at this point than the Heist team. Pick called in the middle of the stack. Oh, nice grab.
What?
Not sure how
Really?
Young came up with that one. Tidwell with the disc on the goal line. Nice pivot. Puts it up. And a drop from Claire Henley. Both teams struggling with catching in this game.
Not easy as the wind's moving all around. Let's get another look at that catch. No way. That was incredible. The Heist player looked like she guided it into the Brutesquad player's hands.
So foul call on the mark here. Ladone looking downfield, she puts it up. And almost able to come up with that one. Becca Ludford. Young with the D. Tajima with the disc. Tajima, a young player out of Tufts University, with Tufts through their semifinal run to college nationals this year. So a little contact there, foul call, but then waved off. There's another long point here on a downwind Heist point. Great pressure from Tidwell. Another big bid. And here's a shot for the end zone.
Oh.
And Emily Jenkins unable to come up with it.
It's the second time this game Jenkins has had the disc hit it in both of her hands, and she's unable to catch for the goal. The wind is definitely affecting players out here.
You know, I know we can say the wind's affecting players, but this is the Club National Championships. It's windy, but it's not that windy. You know, we're not talking about like the 2011 college finals between Carleton and Wisconsin out here. This is reasonable winds to play in. It's around 15-mile-per-hour wind, and I think these teams should be handling this wind better than they are currently, especially on the catching side of the disc.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's not just this game. We saw that in the first game we covered as well. The Bucket Polar Bears game, there were a lot of drops. And here's a hammer, just an unwise choice, but it works out. Ladone with the hammer, somehow Becca Ludford comes down with it. Looks like there's a call here.
I don't think that was her intended receiver.
I'm not sure who her intended receiver was. That was a crazy throw. But Heist able to come away with that one. Stay on serve, get the downwinder 4-4. So both teams making their share of errors here, and both teams coming up with their luck as well.
Brutesquad had a big opportunity there to take the lead 5-3, 2 breaks in a row, get the upwind break after breaking downwind. However, there was another drop.
Here's another look at that hammer. That one just floats up and out of the screen, turns, it's almost blades straight down to Lunford there. So now we're getting a big wind gust.
Generally, these players, if it's not that windy, can get a pretty good read as the disc comes out of a thrower's hands. But on that one, there's no telling where it was going to go. You just had to be at the right place at the right time.
So Sarah Hoistad with the disc for Heist in the pull. Another point without Georgia Boscher or Robin Fennig on the field. Disc gets to about midfield and then rolls back a few yards towards the sideline. Looks like offside's called. So this is going to come back. So Hoistad gets another shot at this one. Looks like a little better pull this time. Makes it down to the far brick mark. And Madison comes down with the zone. Bacher. It's like a trap zone, trapping that forehand sideline for Brutesquad. Bacher again. Sarah cooks the reset, trying to go over the top. Tough bladey forehand there. Too much face to the disc. Excuse me, too much face to the wind, and the wind pushes it out of bounds. Actually pushed it all the way over to the neighboring field.
As the wind picks up, we see a great turning zone cup over here by Heist. And they get the turn.
So as we retrieve the disc, Sarah Hoistad will take it. Bitterman on the mark.
Last few minutes, the wind has definitely picked up here.
Sarah Cook to Bitterman. Back to Cook. Cook with the inside break to Malinowski, just past the extended arms of the defender, Kimmy Chapman. And so a pretty quick point there from Brutesquad, makes it 5-4. You know, I think your point earlier about Brutesquad deciding to go north-south, deciding to take shots as opposed to push it wide is really important, right? I think these throws across the field, whether your team is going upwind or downwind, are very difficult. The wind is doing a lot on the disc. And then the teams need to take more shots. They need to open up their downfield, get more north-south shots, and take deep shots when they're there.
Yeah, the windier it gets, the more it's a game of field position and taking, just even punting the ball. The disc, rather.
And I think particularly going upwind, you know, trying to free up your players to get upline cuts, get into power position, and be able to take shots. We're actually getting a little bit of rain now. A little light drizzle in addition to this wind. You know, work on getting those resets. Instead of continuing to have those resets come back, look for some more resets upfield. Those upfield resets can provide great opportunities to take shots. In fact, that is how Brutesquad scored their upwind point on Emily Bacher's upfield reset, where she caught it and was able to put it deep to Bitterman. Here's Sinecrope with the pull. See the wind here pushing this one up and out. That one is going to go way over. Lands past midfield of the neighboring field. So now we're definitely pushing up into 20-mile-per-hour plus winds out here.
I wonder if it has anything to do with the hurricane that's hitting Cuba.
Hurricane Sandy, I believe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the forecast for the whole weekend is really windy weather, 20 to 30 mile per hour winds. So we're going to see a lot of zone and a lot of turnovers this weekend. Brutesquad with zone defense.
Fennig back on the field.
Then it with the around to Jenny Gaynor. Jenny Gaynor out wide. Back to Gaynor. Oh, and Gaynor can't come up with that one. Looked like she picked her head up and was looking downfield before making the catch. Heist, man-to-man, force backhand. Force middle. Wide. Weird try on that one. Sinicrope trying to trailing edge that one when it looked like she could almost just clap that one in the middle of her in her stomach.
Going for style points there.
Looks like there may be a foul call. Nope, no foul called. The player is retying her shoe. So Fennig to pick up the disc. Marked by McKenzie. Upline cut. Tracy Wu there waiting for that one. Intended receiver, Emily Langland.
Really difficult spot here for Brutesquad as the winds picked up. Front left corner of the end zone.
Nice little IO break to get it off that line. Brutesquad with some nice movement here. Break around, McKenzie. Looking to continue. Back to the middle.
Wide open player streaking downfield for Brutesquad. Unable to get it to her.
Nice hands from Kelly Tidwell. On the sideline. McKenzie going up line. Here's a look. And McKenzie takes a shot. Sinicrope the intended receiver, but that one pushed over by the wind. But I think that's what they need to look for there. I think that getting that upline look, getting into power position, then taking that shot deep.
Yeah, getting your momentum going forward. Even if it doesn't result in a completion, you still have turned it over up at that goal line.
So Brutesquad able to come out here with her zone defense. But quick break through the middle by Fennig. Kisau back to Fennig. Fennig looking around. Foul call on the mark. Stephanie Barker on the mark here on Fennig. Langland back to Fennig. Fennig across to Kisau. Kisau with a high backhand. Ladone. Back to Fennig across. Nice patience from Heist here. Brutesquad's transitioning to the man. Call. Travel. Gaynor takes a couple steps back, marked by Tracy Wu. Gaynor with the inside out. Glinka. Glinka over the head of Ladone. So good patience and good offense there, ruined at the last second. Big block by Fennig. giving Heist a great opportunity here. Benning lays up high and up. Looks like she's going to take a sub.
She just rolled her ankle there.
Picking it up.
Yeah, just stepping back. After the big athletic play, takes a step back and rolls her ankle.
Here's another look at this one. Cinecope trying to get a little yardage here. And just going up. High block there against number 8, Stephanie Barker. Big win right now. That's a tough crosswind throw. Wind continues to pick up. Barker up line. Shelly Payton. Payton goes up. Out of bounds. Tender receiver Christy Kim. Nice hands there from Jenny Gaynor. Back to Ladone.
Like Tracy Wu might have deed that, but Gaynor able to maintain possession.
Looks like Ladone's coming out with an injury here. And Georgia Bosher will step back on the field. We haven't seen a lot of Bosher.
Last 2 points have been pretty long. Bosher getting herself back on the field.
That catch by Gaynor over Tracy Wu was remarkable. Definitely looked like Wu had the inside position. So slow-paced game here. McKenzie with the disc. Lots of traffic in the middle. And another turnover.
I don't really know who exactly she was throwing that to. Looked like she was throwing it to Bosher, honestly.
There were 2 Heist defenders within 5 yards of her. And there, nice little IO break there. Gave a lot of space. Now Gaynor right on the goal line.
1
Heist
yard
with an
to go. Oh, Klinka just can't bring it in. The wind is howling right now.
Bosher on the mark. Payton with the disc. High stall count. Finds the out to Tidwell. Tidwell looking. Looks to the reset. High forehand. Comes across. McKenzie able to come down with it. IO break across. But that one gets turned over by the wind as well. And Bosher with a shot. This one's going to hang. Looks like foul called. No foul. Intended receiver there, Liz Arakaki. Cinecope on D. Kim. Marked by Kisau. And another drop. This one by Whitty. And a shot right away to Kisau for the goal. And Heist back on the board. Another long point out here.
We are 1 hour and 15 minutes into this game, and that was the 9th point of this game. The wind is certainly slowing things down here.
Kisau had to make a pretty remarkable catch there. It almost looked like the disc stopped and she had to go and just stab it in the air. But it's enough to end this point. And so this held point, Heist able to win. So while the wind definitely felt manageable in the beginning of the game in the first few points, and there was a lot of sloppy play, it has definitely picked up now. If I had to estimate, if I had to put a ballpark around it, I would say 23 to 25 miles per hour wind. It's pretty significant. You can see the flags blowing. You can see the palm trees in the distance. Definitely a lot of difficult conditions here for these players. All tied up at 5s here. That was a big point for Heist to keep that downwinder. They're going to need an upwinder in this game, though, to have a shot at winning it.
They had one earlier in the game when there wasn't so much wind. Boscher with the nice flat forehand. But then Brutesquad got one back.
Zipperstein back on the field.
Haven't seen her in a little while.
Sarah Cook. Malinowski. Bitterman. Bacher. Sarah Cook. So that's a tough one. Malinowski unable to come up with it. Heist going with the zone, forcing Brutesquad to go across the field, and the wind does the rest of the work.
Here's the opportunity for Heist to get that upwind break.
Heist has both Fennick and Boscher on the field. Oh, and Dobkin stumbles on as she comes up to that one.
She rolled her ankle just a little bit. Stays on the field, though, limping ever so slightly.
Looks like Heist goes back in their zone defense. Brutesquad not far outside their own end zone here. They need to be able to push this one downfield. They can't give an easy opportunity here to Heist, and Heist gets it. Boscher slowing the team down. Fennick walking to the disc. Remember that Heist has no turnovers left this half. Boscher isolated. Fennick looks her off. Then looks to the break mark. And Boscher pulls it down in the end zone with the upwinder. Going up 6-5.
Big point for Heist. It's their second break of this game. You got leaders of the team, captains of the team, Robin Fennig finding Georgia Boscher. That's Biz Cook with the D. Then Fennig, the around break. Boscher with the layout pancake, gets her feet down first. Heist takes the lead, 6-5.
So converting the short field puts Boston's O-line in a tough position now. So Heist has the break, the upwind break, and now they're coming downwind on defense. It's a nice place to be given these conditions.
The wind's almost changed from a upwind, from a north-south to a east-west. Here, it looks like it's almost coming straight to the side.
So from the angle you're looking at right now, the wind is coming right to left, which would still make the far end zone the upwind end zone. Those forehands are going to be very difficult. The backhands are going to get pushed out of bounds. But if it changes ever so slightly, even a little more, if it keeps rotating around like it has been, we could see a switch on which is upwind and downwind, just out of bounds.
That would have been a pinpoint pull. However, Brutesquad will take it at the break.
So Bacher to put this disc into play. She's retrieving it.
Bacher to put the disc in play from the break mark.
Brutesquad has been throwing the disc downfield. Their primary target on that deep throw has been Whitty. She's got a 5'11" frame, good hands. See if they can find her deep. Heist in a zone look.
And McKenzie unable to come up with it, giving another short opportunity here for Heist. Let's see if Heist can convert.
Drop and a drop. See one, play one, I always say.
Nice shot, deep to Malinowski. Looks like the Heist defender down on the play.
Injury.
A lot of pain.
She is in pain.
Let's take another look at this. This is Bacher with the backhand. So that's Ladone. Ladone just comes down hard, her knee straight into the ground. Dr. Rodriguez on the field.
Also a good guy to be there when there's an injured player.
So Ladone's still down. Brutesquad in a better position than they were just moments ago. Disc past midfield when it comes in with Malinowski with the disc.
Injured player Becky Ladone.
So Ladone able to walk out off the field on her own.
Malinowski with the disc for Brutesquad. Langland on the mark.
Langland marking. Dump back to VY Chow. Nice inside to Bacher. Bacher with the shot. Malinowski. Oh. The wind holds that one up. Kisau gets in the middle of it too to break it up. And there's another turnover. It's a great grab by Bacher. The throw behind her from Chow. The shot, I think that shot's a smart shot to Malinowski there, but doesn't come down with it. So Bacher again with the disc. And turnover on the reset. Langland. Over to Gapster. Gapster with the backhand deep. And the wind picks that one up and just pushes it too far. So McKenzie slowly walking to pick up the disc in the end zone. Heist in their zone, trap zone. Nice movement from Brutesquad, and that one was in the hands of VY Chow. Chow should have been able to come down with that one. So Langland to pick it up. Good break around. Through the middle. Another turnover. That one was Jen Nowak.
Hit her right in the hands. Couldn't bring it down.
Chow able to come down with that one. Bacher with the disc, looking deep. Has some space to put it, but chooses not to. Over to Malinowski. Back to Bacher. Bacher's going to take one of these shots. Chow wide open. Heist defense seems like they're nowhere right now. And Chow tries to go across the top. Finds it.
Wide open, Chelsea Whitty.
Out to Malinowski. And what happened on that point? Brutesquad just, well, it seems like they're wide open almost everywhere they look there.
Yeah, Heist just stopped playing defense.
But that seems like the worst place ever to stop playing defense. You've got Brutesquad going upwind and it's so hard, and they just gave them open looks, open look, open look. Do you think they were confused about whether they were playing man or zone there?
It's possible. It didn't really seem like any Heist player knew where they were, knew where their offender was on the field if they were playing man-to-man, because everyone was 10 or 15 yards behind.
So it's about 1:40 right now. And at 2:15, we will be having the soft cap come on. We're almost certainly going to have the soft cap affect this game. Soft cap comes on, you finish the point that's in progress, and you add 2, and we'd be playing to that score. So that's a very high possibility that we will have the soft cap come on. That's in order to keep the games on schedule when you have really bad conditions like this.
So if soft cap doesn't come on before they get to halftime, does that mean that once halftime comes, they would still take a break?
Yes, they would still take their halftime break. So Brutesquad comes down with zone. It's a very tight zone. Looks like still 3 people in the cup. There's a foul downfield. It's a 3-person cup, but it looks like the wings and the short deep are pressed pretty far in. Make it very hard to go through the cup, forcing Heist to have to go around. So the foul call here is on Christy Kim. This is come installing 0. Observers rule it is a foul. Kelly Parsons. Parsons across. All the way. Sarah Scott. Back to Parsons. Not a lot of space in there. Tuig with the disc. Back to Parsons. Taking very short passes. Rebecca Enders. Out to Sarah Scott, trapped on the line here. Enders with the disc again. Brutesquad in their trap. High stall count. They get that one out.
Very clustered zone offense.
And out of bounds. Tuig actually catches this one out of bounds. Both observers are ruling it out. So this one's going to come back and give Brutesquad an easy opportunity here to put it in downwind.
Be a big break opportunity for Brutesquad, only 10 yards outside the opposition's end zone.
So Shelly Payton to pick the disc up. Looks like Tidwell going to be isolated in the lane here. Speedy Tidwell going deep. Payton with a shot and lays it right in. Kelly Parsons with the bid, unable to come up with it, so Brutesquad takes the lead back 7-6. And they get back on to serve. It's a great shot from Payton there. Nice little isolation cut. They set up Tidwell, who has a lot of speed, can go in and away in the middle of the end zone and let her just work.
Apologies, Lenny, for the missed call on the last point. It is now 7-6. Halftime will occur at 8. Game go to 15.
So Brutesquad here with an opportunity to take half. Heist putting the new line out.
Boscher and Fenig back on the field. Each point so valuable in this game. It's a very low scoring game, only 7-6. We have 30 minutes until soft cap.
So at this point, Heist will need one more break, then Brutesquad in order to win this game. One more upwind break. Nice pull from Sinacrope. And this game is a very important one, not just for this tournament, and who makes power pools, which it likely will determine from this from Pool A who will make power pools. Bosher with a shot.
Bosher comes down with it in a pack of people.
Out of bounds.
That's okay.
It's not a bad choice still. This is not just important to determine who makes power pools this weekend, but it really will have a large impact on who will be playing in the top tournaments next season.
The pro division or the elite division. Both of these teams are on the cusp.
And a run-through block there. Foul call, but Jenny Gaynor coming through looked to me like Sarah Jacoby just slowed up and Gaynor got that block.
Yeah, we're going to get another look here.
Jacoby basically stops, and Gaynor has position. I think she has the angle, right?
Gaynor did have position because Jacoby planted and then changed her direction, but Gaynor was already there. So Jacoby ran.
So the observers choose not to make a ruling on this one. Goes back to Synchro. Synchro goes around. This one's hanging. Opportunity for Callahan, but Brutesquad able to come down with it. Henley with the disc, marked by Bosher. The middle of the field. Not getting a lot of yards. Payton with the disc. Chelsea Burrows.
Bosher picked. As Claire Henley cuts up line.
So coming back to Burrows here. Burrows takes another shot up line. Bosher with the bid. Henley with it. Henley had a moment to look. Didn't take the shot. Comes back and is going all the way across the field. And a drop. Costly drop there from Vicky Nagus.
It's a real tough throw.
And a shot downfield. That one's going to be pushed out of bounds. These throws are very tough. That back wind, the wind is just pushing and pushing and pushing and accelerating that disc instead of letting it just sit down. Intended receiver there was number 26, Rachel Westgate. So Synchro to pick the disc up again. If Brutesquad can work the full 70, they'll take half. And a big shot right away. Nice flat throw out to space. Oh, and coming down with an amazing catch. Chelsea Burrows comes from behind and somehow pulls it down.
Gaynor definitely had position on that one, but it didn't matter.
I don't think she knew that Burrows was there. Shelly Payton with the disc.
This is a huge point for Brute. Looking to take half. There's a shot to the end zone. Biz Cook with the D. Stops the momentum for Brute.
So Fennig with the disc again. Across the middle. Lots of open players here for Heist. And a wide open receiver deep. Here's a shot.
Is it going to sail?
Just
a little too far.
Too much.
Gaynor covering a lot of ground, involved in lots of plays this point. One here in the front of the end zone. Down there, almost on D, and then streaking wide open here.
She was wide open on that one. That's another shot that I'm sure they'd like to take that shot again. And here's a turnover right on the goal line. Fennig is going to pick this one up.
Synchro not happy with that one.
Look for Bosher to be isolated. Gaynor also involved.
Looks like Gaynor's going to be isolated. Bosher on the sideline.
So Gaynor coming in, working by herself in the middle, and then Bosher with the little one in the outlet, toes the line in for the goal, ties it up at sevens.
Second time we've seen that sort of play from Heist. Fennig with the around break to Bosher. Bosher falling out of the end zone but towing the line to get the score. Pancake layout. See, keeps her toes down. Now it's tied at 7s. Brutesquad with an opportunity to take half there. That would have been a huge momentum swing.
This time, the next point takes half.
So 7-7, next point takes half here, and every single one of these points is very important. With a 10-minute halftime, we don't have a lot of time of play left before soft cap comes in here.
This is a huge point for Heist because they started on defense, and if they were able to get a break here, then they would be receiving the pull.
Going downwind.
Yeah, so they really have everything would be going their way with the short amount of time we have left.
25 minutes to soft cap.
Now 24 minutes to soft cap.
Fennig with the pull. So Brutesquad puts their O-line out, while Heist is putting out all of their top players as well.
Fennig sitting deep in Heist zone.
Bosch occupying a lot of space in the middle. Cook. Bitterman out to Malinowski. Malinowski looks for it, pulls it back, finds Cook. Cook over the top to Bitterman, back to Bacher, across, Booth. Back to Malinowski. Brutesquad just being very patient, working laterally across the field. Cook looks through to Malinowski, just off the ground. Looks like Heist is calling that one down.
That was pretty close. Couldn't quite see from our angle.
Observer step in immediately. There's an immediate up-down ruling, and they rule it's up. Bacher to Cook. Bitterman. Nice hands.
Looks like she caught that one on her fingertips.
Bitterman wide open across the field. Cook decides to go to the break to Malinowski. Malinowski can't hold on to it. Turnover. And here comes Fennig. And Heist looking to get the break to go into half. Tuig. Oh, nice catch by Georgia Boscher. Full extension. And she takes a shot to Fennig, but that one's not going to hold its edge.
Nice full extension here from Boscher, maintaining possession. You know she's going to take that deep shot if anyone's even remotely close to going deep.
So now Bacher and Brutesquad having to work 70 yards against the zone. Nice movement in the middle. Back to Cook. Ooh, to Bacher in the middle, outside wide to Malinowski. Back to Bacher. Bacher going across the top to Whitty. Great throw from Bacher.
Very accurate with that forehand.
Cook. Heist to transition to man-to-man. Malinowski to Bacher. Bacher stumbles a little bit. Looks like she called a foul. Worked by Enders. Cook with the IO. Boscher with the look. Takes out Malinowski. Malinowski gets the disc. IO on the goal line. Emma Frankel back to Bacher. Bacher to Cook, and Cook can't hold on to it.
It's about the 20th drop we've seen from these teams.
It's like Christmas out here with all these gifts. Fennig to Boscher. Keystow with the bid, can't hold on to it either. So Cook gets it back. Oh, nice catch.
Bodies flying everywhere.
Cook with the disc. She wants the IO to Malinowski, not there. Goes to Bitterman. Contact and a foul called. No contest. So Bitterman looking in the end zone. Doesn't have it. Resets are covered. High stall count, and somehow Malinowski extends the arm, pulls it down, and 8-7 half for Brutesquad.
Malinowski just watching the disc, seeing that the stall count's getting high. Knows it might come into the end zone pretty soon. Bitterman forced to throw it, take a shot.
Great awareness from Malinowski there to be able to come down with that one. And a great catch there by Bacher.
Malinowski marked by Bosher. Bosher doesn't quite lay out on that one.
So we're in a half, 8-7. Bosher Brutesquad with the lead, but the game is on serve. Heist will be coming downwind to start the second half. Only needs one upwinder to pull this game away. We're going to take a short break. We hope you join us for the second half. Welcome back to Sarasota, Florida for the second half of pool play action of a game between Brutesquad in black and Heist in gray. We're NGN, being streamed by Elemental Technologies. We're in a war of attrition here, 8-7. Brutesquad with the lead. Heist starting on offense second half.
9 minutes from soft cap.
Lots of turnovers in this game. It's very windy out here. Robin Fennig with the disc to Becky Ladone. Back to Fennig. Fennig with the IO. Good movement here from Heist. Jen Nowak dishes it back. Nice grab by Fennig on the ground. Fennig with the IO. Oh! And Rose Glinka takes her eyes off that one. Bounces off her hands and off her chest. So Brutesquad with the disc going upwind. Tidwell with it. Brutesquad working out of their vert stack. Clyde Tajima centers it to Sinecrope. Henley out wide to Calkins. Calkins with the disc. Centers it. Sinecrope. Nice movement. Tidwell. And Tidwell with a shot. And Whitty under it and pulls it down. But this one's going to be coming back.
Out the back of the end zone, actually.
Out the back of the end zone. So Brutesquad actually showing really good movement upwind there until that last throw. Here's another look at it.
Very clean offense for Brute.
Whitty just can't hold those feet in. So shot right away. Another turnover. Sinecrope to pick the disc up. And Sinecrope going down line. That one's not going to stay in bounds though. She did get a lot of yards on that throw before it went out of bounds though. That's beneficial for Brutesquad. Fennig. Inside, nice block. Sinecrope. Tajima picks it up. Henley. Back to Tajima. Looks like a foul called. Fennig calls a foul on Tajima. Observer's going to step in here. another look at that block from Cinecope. Great high block. So observers uphold the foul call, and it's going to go back to Henley. Cinecope, low release throw. Tidwell. Henley going up line. Nice throw from Tidwell. Right on the goal line. And timeout from Henley. It's a big break opportunity here from Brutesquad. Also a very smart strategic timeout given how close we're getting to the cap here. If Brutesquad can put this one in, they have a big advantage going into cap up a break, up 2 breaks.
We're only 4 minutes away from soft cap. Brutesquad with it right outside the end zone. In one of the most difficult spots to score in the end zone when you're on that goal line. On the corners, you only have half the field to work with, especially with this wind blowing the way it is. You know it's going to get caught, somehow affect the disc. Brutesquad looking to take the first 2-point lead of the game. Each team has led by 1 or the score has been tied throughout the game.
So timeouts at USA Club Nationals have 70 seconds for the offense to get set up after the timeout call, and then 20 seconds for the D to set up. That is timed by the observers.
Once again, clear Henley on the disc for Brutesquad.
So Whitty for Brutesquad isolated in the end zone. Henley with the disc. Tajima set up as the reset. Whitty working. Now Tajima. It's like a call.
Counts in on 6.
Count coming in 6 here. Henley. High stall count. Looks for the break. Doesn't have it on the backhand side. D Heist. So Heist wins that timeout. Now Fennick with the disc. Heist looking to move it. Ladone with it. Ladone puts up the forehand. To Nowak coming underneath. Nowak dishes to Fennick. Looks like we have a pick call. Fennick looking to break. Whitty on the mark. High stall count. And just tries to bail herself out. Throws it up. Tidwell there with the block. So Tajima with the disc going over. Bid. Tidwell with it. And here's a shot. Wind is really picked up right now. And Whitty just tracks this one down in the end zone for the upwind break and the 9-7 lead from Brutesquad.
Cap is less than a minute away from going on. Means the game will be played to 11.
Be played to 11 if Heist scores the next point. If Brutesquad scores the next point, it will be added to after this point. Next point is over, and be played till 12. Update the scores. Of course, there's a lot of action going on here at the USA Ultimate Club Championships and other divisions. So Jackson's going to take a second to walk us through some of the open scores.
In the open division, rematch of the second place game of the Northwest Regionals, Furious George and Rhino tied at 14s. Other action in that pool, Ironside beats Boost Mobile 15-4. We also have Revolver playing Madison Club. They win 15-7. Ring of Fire upsets Machine. They win 16-14. In Pool C, we have Sockeye up on Goat 12-9. Chain up on Sub-Zero, or they win against Sub-Zero 15-7. Double Wide up on Pony 12-10. And Bravo up on Truck Stop 14-8.
That Pool C is really a mess. Upsets in both games in the first round, and then holding seed in the second round, it looks like. And if Sockeye pulls that game out, all 4 teams will be 1-1, and all 4 teams will have the opportunity in the last round game to win the pool or lose the pool. So Heist now with
and
the
we
disc.
will be filming one of those games. The Sockeye versus Chain Lightning game.
A lot riding on that game, so definitely come back and stay tuned for that third round game at 4 p.m. Eastern, that is. So Heist now with the disc. Boscher looking to the IO. Nice IO break for the goal. They needed that one. So now it's 9-8. Brutesquad with the lead, and the cap is on, so we are playing a game 2-11. So Heist is going to need to convert this downwinder, and they're going to need to convert at least one upwinder to win this game.
They've done it before. Did it in the second, or the first point of this game. Probably going to see a lot of Georgia Boscher on the field. We have 13 minutes until hard cap.
So Brutesquad came into this game with a win against Hot Metal, while Heist came in with a loss against Fury. After this game, Brutesquad will go on to play Fury, and Heist will go on to play Hot Metal. In most likely games that are pretty predictable, Fury will probably win against Brutesquad, and Heist will probably beat Heist will probably beat Hot Metal. So this game really is for the power pools tomorrow. This is what we're looking for. It's a tight game, and it can go either way at this point. Fennig with the pull. Heist comes down with his zone. Looks like a 3-person cup zone. Kisao on the mark here. Cook anchoring the offense with Emily Bacher. Out wide to Jackie Booth to Chow. Back to Bacher. Cook again. Cook around to Malinowski. And back up through the middle to Cook. Heist just looking to contain here. They don't want anything through the middle. They're trying to force Brutesquad to have to throw around this cup, make a lot of throws, and let the wind do the defensive, put the defensive pressure on Brutesquad. Good patient offense here from Brutesquad. And there's the turnover they're looking for. Jackie Booth unable to come up with it.
Another one of those drops. Heist only has half the field to work with.
Then they go round. That one's going to hang, but Georgia Boscher able to read it and pull it down. Georgia with a backhand. Nice, laying out to space. Kelly Parsons across. And Heist unable to hold on to it. Bacher to pick it up. Heist caught in transition here. They look like they're going zone, but they're not in the position they want to be in. This one goes up over the top, and Tuig able to come down with it. Back to Parsons. Heist really needs to convert. They've got a lot of their top players out on the field here, and they can't have a long point. They want to put this one in quickly. Tuig open. A few yards outside the end zone. And Bosher working. And Bosher open on Jackie Booth for the score and tying it up at 9s.
Huge point for Heist. They get the break.
So once again, we're back on serve. Here's another look at it. Bosher just using her explosiveness and in a very short amount of space, able to create 3 yards of open space against Booth there. She plants hard, freezes Booth, and then gets open. So 9-9, game to 11. This is for power pools and for the inside track to the pro division. You know, we talked earlier in the game, Jackson, about all these other players in the area who are very highly competitive. Alex Snyder in Madison or Paula Seville in Detroit. And you got to think winning this game and especially getting to that pro tier for Heist would help draw those players. I mean,
definitely be an incentive for them to join this Heist team. Having 4 potential Callahan winners on your team, it's really something you can build around, especially only being a second year in existence, as next year would be.
And this is a very young team, but these next 3 points are the most important points of the Heist season by far. Cook with the disc. Malinowski. For Brutesquad's part, they've done a lot of rebuilding this season. This is the first year they've held open tryouts in 10 years of existence. So no player was grandfathered into the team. They all had to try out again. And they have a big youth movement here, a lot of young players on the team. And this is a great building block for them to make it to the power pools and get tested in the power pools this weekend. Malinowski, Zipperstein making cut up line. Cross to Bacher. To Malinowski, to Zipperstein, to Cook. Oh, Whitty looked like she had a shot at that one and didn't take it. Emma Frankel was the one who was the original receiver, unable to come up with it. So Madison now with a shot. A big possession for them going upwind. Anna Williams to Fennig.
Fennig turning into their every other this point.
Here's Cook. Only a few yards outside the end zone here. There's a big opportunity here for Heist. Back to Fennig. Tries to go around. And that is number 15. That is Emma Frankel getting the disc back with the point block. Frankel coming up big after not being able to catch that last one. But Brutesquad's still a long way from the end zone. Heist in their zone. Frankel.
Between 4 Heist defenders.
And Whitty. Up to Spitz. Back to Malinowski. Spit's the only member of the original Brutesquad squad 10 years ago. Still on the roster. Bacher, Malinowski. Spit's open deep. Malinowski doesn't take it. Cook across to Zipperstein. All the way across to Malinowski. Pick called in the middle of the field. Bacher to Malinowski.
Looks like we have a pick call.
Cook to Bacher. And Bacher taking a bigger round to Malinowski. That one's going to hang in the air. And too much. Whitty trying to follow up but can't get to it. I just got to think that after playing in these conditions for this whole game, that throw, you think about it, you pull it back and you think, I probably shouldn't throw this because it's just not going to be complete.
Probably not going to convert on this one.
We have not seen a single one of those bladey backhands coming in this direction work out.
I can't think of one the entire game.
So Bacher giving an opportunity here to Heist. A little contact between Whitty and Fennig. Nice open space throw. Biz Cook back to the middle. Nice movement here from Heist. A little tight throw there.
Zipperstein with a hard foul.
It's Corinne Wade, one of the captains and founders of this Heist squad. Oh, nice IO throw. Arkakai. Gets it out. Wade underneath to Ladone. Ladone across. Ladone is having a tough game. Lots of turnovers. And that one was a costly one.
Seems to be her throw choices too. That throw trying to do the outside in, come back in into the wind. Really got to throw that one hard.
And it was from a higher release point. Now, this is interesting. Fennig coming off the field.
Boscher subbing on for her.
Just got word the Rhino Furious score is 16-16, double game point. That's a similarly important game. That's a game between an 8 and 9 seed. So a lot riding on that game, not just this weekend, but next season as well. So point block there. Looks like Ladone gets that one back. And Ladone, forehand pump fake. She wants that high backhand, chooses not to throw it. Probably a good decision. Zipperstein called for the foul by Corinne Wade. And Boscher going over the top, has Ladone. Ladone over Sarah Cook for the score, the upwinder and the break. 10-9 Heist, bring it to game point.
It's huge for them.
So great throw from Boscher, finds the open Ladone. Up 11, 10-9, game to 11 here. On the verge of sending Brutesquad down to the lower pools. Of course, being in the lower pools doesn't put you out of the tournament altogether. It just gives you a harder road. You have to basically win all of your games in the lower pool, and then in your third game, play a play-in game to get into the quarterfinals. And those are the games, those pre-quarter games are the ones that are going to determine who is in each of these tiers going into next season.
That makes the road harder because you have to play an extra game compared to these other teams.
Want every single game tomorrow matters. There's no game that you can decide we want to rest people. They need to put those points on the board. So Heist with 3 straight points now, putting Boston's back against the walls. Boston now the team that needs to break up, win, and then score another one.
Game point for Heist.
Boscher with the pull. And way out of bounds. Brutesquad will put it in at their brick mark. Emily Bates, you're going to go retrieve the disc. Looks like Fennig has taken off her jersey. Oh, excuse me, she's not taking off her jersey. She's still on the sideline. She's just talking to the Brutesquad players. And Amber Sinecrope with the disc. Working against the Heist zone. Back to Bacher. Malinowski with Sinecrope to Bacher. Nice hands. Bacher. And Malinowski with a backhand shot.
Boscher's there. And Georgia Boscher.
Got him. So Boscher comes down with it.
Once
And
I saw
Madison.
that it was Boscher, I don't think anyone else was going to come down with that. And Boscher hucks it a little too far for Chelsea Toig.
Let's take another look at this Boscher D. Boscher with 2 Brutesquad players there and goes up high. Look at that, like a
Just
boss.
strutting, strutting back to the line.
So, but Brutesquad with another opportunity here. Long way to go in the zone.
Brutesquad falling into that horizontal throw instead of going north and south.
Out wide to McKenzie. Back to the middle. Oh, nice little low throw. But Boscher!
Georgia Boscher, like a Boscher.
And here they are, near the goal line.
She's
Boscher.
all over the place.
She's decided, I am putting this team on my back.
She's
Heist
got
right
to
outside.
score this point. There it is. Oh, clotheslined.
Looks like she's calling the foul.
I didn't know it was WWF.
Took her a bit warming up in this game, but once she
Yeah.
got going, goodness.
She just got clotheslined. She just kind of shrugged it off, though.
Stephanie Barker called for the foul there. This one's going back. Stall count of 0. Boscher still working. This one's going to go back. Oistad with the disc. Boscher working in the middle of the field. She wants it. And this one's coming. And Sinecrope with the D.
Sinecrope has been there for Brutesquad all game.
And
getting
here
big
she's taking a
Ds.
shot. That one's not going to stay in bounds, though. So Sinecrope coming up big. You know, I think Boscher became so active there, it was predictable. It was they were telegraphing that it was going to go to Boscher, and everyone could kind of zone in on that. And here's another turnover. This is a good opportunity for Brutesquad going upwind. Bitterman
Unmarked.
Oh, and Bitterman's going to the end zone. Nice coverage from Toig. Sinacrope with the disc, and she turfs it just right into the ground.
Sinacrope been there on D, but not so much her throws late in this game.
So there's the hard cap. Doesn't affect this game. Either way, we're going to 11. Foul on the mark. So we check back in here. Floaty throw. There's Bacher coming down with it. Stephanie Barker dishes to Sinacrop. Sinacrop goes low. Malinowski can't hold on to it.
Just threw it a little behind Malinowski. It did hit her in both hands.
This one's going out of bounds. Boscher trying to keep that one in. You know, I'll tell you this, whoever loses this game is going to feel like we lost this. We didn't,
Yeah.
the other team didn't beat us. We gave this to them. Either way, there's been so many mistakes and unforced errors in this game.
Drops, throwaways.
Emily Bacher to put the disc in play for Brutesquad.
Far too many for Elite Ultimate.
And this one's tough because that one never came in bounds. So Bacher's taking a lot of yards. Coming across the field, and there's a D, but still caught. Bitterman coming down with it, out to Chow. And Chow with the backhand. Bitterman wide open, and the clap catch for the goal ties it up at 10s. This is going to take us to double game point.
We're headed to Universe.
That is a tough point for Heist to lose. A lot of opportunities on the goal line.
They had so much momentum with Boscher all over the place.
0-0, game to 1, ladies.
So this is your 8-9 game here at the club championships in the women's division. Heist in gray, Brutesquad in black from Boston. Double game point, 10-10 game to 11.
Of course you see Boscher out there. Fenig also out there. Kisau. Tohig.
It's like Sarah Scott Ladone and Kelly Parsons round out the double game point line here. For Brutesquad,
We have Whitty, Henley. You got Peyton.
Betsy Calkins. Looks like Christy Kim.
Tajima
Tajima with the disc.
and Kelly Tidwell.
So who can do it? Fennig with the disc. Over the top to Kisau. Brutesquad coming in a man-to-man. And Heist offense running. Boscher with the disc. Looking back. Ends up going up to Tohig. Tohig marked by Tajima.
Good call. Gets in on 3.
I am surprised that Brutesquad came down after so much good zone work they've been doing to come down man-to-man on this last point.
Tajima on the mark.
Looks like there we had a sub. Gainer came in for
Ladone.
Ladone.
Fennig to Tohig. Oh, and the block, point block by Tajima coming up big.
Young player on this team.
21 years old, out of Tufts University, still there, playing her senior year, captain at Tufts. And coming up big here at the club championships. And a shot right away. Tidwell, open, almost in the end zone, a foot outside. Lots of traffic. Tajima, and the block coming right back at it. Sarah Scott stepping up.
D. Take that, Tajima.
These two teams are digging deep. Defending again with the wind picking up again. There's a deep shot. That's Jenny Gaynor with the bid. Can't come up with it.
She had it, she read it, she just didn't catch it.
So Peyton starts with it. Nice little move there by Kim. Kim to Henley. I like this Whitty Bosher matchup here in the back of the stack. Kiesau here guarding Henley, discussing the foul call. Coming in stall of 0. Tidwell makes a nice move, open on the open side. Strong win, looking to Henley. Tajima goes up line, has some steps, lays out, right on the goal line. And Tidwell breaking past, catches it. Observer rules are in.
Observer rules
for the
in.
Game. Tidwell taking over, Tajima taking over on game point, and Brutesquad punching the last two to win the game 11-10.
They were definitely looking for Tidwell on that one. They found her streaking deep earlier in the end zone. Turned it over and then go to Tidwell again. She's speedy, she's athletic. We're getting another look here.
So here's Tajima's play, out in front. Be sure by laying out, and Tidwell just takes off. Looks like her knees were down when she caught that one. I think it's the right call from the observers. So there you have it. Brutesquad takes the second round game here in opening pool play in the women's division of the USA Ultimate Club Championships 2012. We'll be back for more action at 4 p.m. There it is again, Tidwell, knees down. Observer calling her in with the great angle. Thank you for watching. I'm Kyle Weisbrod for Jackson Kelsey. Hope you join us later.